You want to cover that, Jan, how people can
Sure.
unmute themselves and okay.
There we go. Good morning. Good to see everyone. Yeah, unmuting yourselves. You should be able to do that at the bottom of your screen. You should see a little microphone. I think most of you probably know how to do that. But all you have to do is just click on that microphone. If there's a line across it in red, just click on that microphone and that will unmute you. And of course, I invite you to pop in with any questions, any comments at any time. Maybe not during the meditations. Hopefully you're engaged in the meditation, but at any other time. This isn't a lecture. This is something that I really, really love being interactive. So, popping in with comments and suggestions and that sort of thing is what it's all about. So, is anyone with us for the very first time? Looks like I think I recognize everyone, but if so, welcome. Glad you're here. It looks like we have at least a cloudy morning, and the rest of this week is going to be pretty rainy. So I thought we could do some little rainy day exploration, both in our meditations and talking a little bit about what the rain can do for us and of course what it can't do for us. So kind of getting ourselves ready for the week and learning a little bit as we go along. So if you are ready to begin with a meditation, go ahead and get into a comfortable position and make sure that if you're sitting, your feet are flat on the floor, kind of grounding you, and that you're feeling the support of whatever you're sitting on, just feeling that groundedness through the chair, through the floor, knowing that we're all connected to the earth in some way. There may be something kind of interrupting that flow, like our flooring, like our chair, yet there's still an energy connection to the earth, no matter what. So when you're ready to tune in to yourself, just close your eyes or lower your gaze if you would prefer to do that. Just kind of soften your eyes right around the corners. Let your face relax. Check in with your shoulders. Are they relaxed or are they tensed and maybe hunched up a little bit? And just scanning your whole body, seeing how it's feeling, noticing any areas that you may be experiencing some discomfort. And not trying to change that, not trying to deny it, just letting that be. And if there is tension in other areas of your body, letting that tension soften a bit if it's possible. And then breathing in deeply when you're ready, breathing in through your nose and exhaling slowly through your mouth, as if you're blowing out a candle. And once again, breathing in deeply. And exhaling through your mouth. And a few more times on your own natural breath, your own rhythm. Just inhaling through your nose, exhaling through your mouth. And just tuning in to the stillness of your whole being. Inviting yourself to be as opposed to do. So this first meditation is called the water droplet and ripple meditation. And the water droplets symbolize breath, purification, healing, while the ripples represent the expansion of your whole being. So with each breath, the vibration of your energy grows bigger and bigger, just eventually calming out and joining this vast ocean of consciousness that we call ourselves. So if it wasn't for, if it wasn't for the droplets, the breath, the purification, we wouldn't notice the ripples that it creates, that bigger vibration, that vast ocean of consciousness. So drop by drop, the breath fills the vessel. Positivity, gratitude, compassion, kindness, clarity, forgiveness, mindfulness, and love. Without the silence and the awareness of this mindful breath, our nervous system can potentially go into hyperdrive. And when the nervous system goes into hyperdrive, that fight or flight stimulus takes hold. So with the breath, with the droplets of the breath, we're able to return back to our quietude, to our inner voice. So let's explore a little bit about the rain that we've experienced yesterday and we're bound to be experiencing throughout the week. When raindrops fall, do you notice its grace? How it touches the land, each crevice, each plant, each part of the cement. How the rain cleanses and washes away dirt and dust and debris. So when it rains, make sure to look outside. It's absolutely beautiful. And when the rain ends and the sun shines upon the whole world again, you know, how everything just seems to spring up in excitement. Maybe even your inner self springs up in excitement when the rain stops and the sun shines again. It feels refreshing, cleansing. And if you will, imagine that each of these raindrops are droplets of kindness, droplets of compassion, perhaps droplets of whatever you wish to bring into your life. And as you watch these droplets, breathe deeply and slowly. And maybe watch the droplets that land on your window. Choose an intention for yourself and just follow the droplet as it slowly lowers itself to find yet another droplet that it joins. And move your thoughts to how much rain is on your window. Imagine all the rain falling into all of the bodies of water. Just considering the amount of water we have on this planet. And engage in the thought that as a single droplet, we're all powerful. Noticing the majesty and the presence, the profound presence of each droplet. Yet it's easy to fall into the idea of feeling so small and insignificant. Yet without the droplets, none of the ponds were created, the lakes or the oceans. Without the droplets, the glaciers didn't form. So you see, these individual small droplets are necessary for the greater formation, for the vast solidarity of the world. And that translates not into just the physical world, but also the energy of our world, the solidarity of our families, our communities, our species as human beings. So, considering each of us as a droplet, we're all important and significant. We're not small, we're vast as we join together into a solidarity. There's a quote by the philosopher Rumi. He says, "You are not a drop in the ocean, you are the entire ocean in a drop." You are not a drop in the ocean, you are the entire ocean in a drop. So when you're ready, start to become aware of your surroundings. Maybe wiggle fingers and toes. Just reawaken your body in your own time. And stretch if that feels good to you. And then coming back to to your screen, to this lovely group that's together this morning. So after exploring the fact that we can use those water droplets that we will potentially see today and the rest of the week as um, ourselves. Let's talk a little bit more. Let's come a little bit back more down into the reality of what rain really is all about and how it can affect our emotions and actually affect so much more than just our emotions, our physical beings as well. So, of course, the rumor is that rainy days can get us down. And the verdict of that rumor is that it definitely can have a negative effect on our emotions. I probably don't need to tell you that. About 9% of people actually fall into the rain haters category. 9%. And these folks feel angrier and less happy on days where there's precipitation. So even on Facebook, rain increases the number of negative posts. So what can we do about a downshift in our mood if we are one of these rain haters, or maybe even a rain disliker? So what we can do, several very practical, very simple things. Turn the lights on. And light actually boosts serotonin, which elevates our mood. So just simply turning lights on in your house can really elevate your mood. If it's possible, try and walk outside, maybe between showers, or just getting your rain gear on and getting some of that UV light. That can actually help regulate our circadian rhythms, and it boosts mood, just getting outside. So even in the lousy weather, if we can be prepared for lousy weather. We do live in Michigan, right? So having your rain gear and pretty soon our snow gear, getting outside makes all the difference. And if it's raining outside, maybe taking it as an invitation to do something for your mental health. Like pleasurable activities that make you feel good. It's almost as if the unpleasant weather gives us the possibility, it gives us an excuse to do some things that we really enjoy. Maybe watching a movie that we've been anxious to watch. Maybe doing some arts and crafts. Maybe reading a book that you've really been anxious to dive into or finish. So, it kind of gives us that permission to forget the leaves that are on the grass, forget the cleanup of all of the vegetation that's dying, and just let yourself do something that's pleasurable and enjoyable for you. Another thing that we can do on these less than optimum weather days is just kind of engage in some personal reflection. Thinking about what's going on in your life, whether it's through a meditation or simply, sitting with a cup of tea and looking outside, or um, just closing your eyes and thinking. Um, and just, it can be relaxing. It can be a time of putting things into perspective for yourself. Um, and, we certainly need that time of perspective right now. Um, with the holidays coming up, I was just talking to my brother last night, and he lives in Florida, and he was saying, what are you going to do for Thanksgiving? It was like, I have no idea. I haven't even thought about it. Um, so, kind of shifting our perspective about the upcoming weeks and months, um, contemplating, what will feel comfortable to us, what will feel safe to us, what's possible, not only when it comes to celebrating the holidays, but really even in our everyday lives. How do we feel comfortable? How can we feel safe? Big questions right now. So taking a rainy day as a possibility for doing some of that personal reflection. Um, and an interesting thing is too that rain produces a sound, as we know, that is actually it's similar to white noise. And white noise is um, that steady sound that um, can actually produce relaxation within our bodies. I always think of my oldest son when he was a baby. He loved the vacuum cleaner noise. That's what would put him to sleep when I would put him down for a nap. So I'd leave the vacuum running. Probably not good for the vacuum, but it was really good for him for taking a nap. So that's an example of white noise. Or fans. That's another white noise that a lot of people utilize to get to sleep. So what happens is the brain actually gets a signal from white noise that decreases the need for sensory input, and it calms us down. There's an actual physical response in our brains that calms us down with white noise. And bright sun tends to keep us stimulated, but that noise, that white noise of rain, can calm us down. So scientists, people who study things like rain, actually call rain pink noise. And that has to do with the variables in frequency of the sound of rain. And it has enough variables in frequency that it engages the subconscious, but it doesn't engage the subconscious enough to distract or disturb. So that pink noise of rain can positively impact sleep and memory, in addition to calming our brains down. So it's pretty amazing when you think about it. And for me, it kind of shifts my perspective of rain from gloominess to, oh my goodness, this is actually quite lovely. It's doing it's doing my body and my mind a lot of good, and maybe even my heart, if I can use it for personal reflection and enjoyment of something that I wouldn't normally allow myself to do on a beautiful day that I need to be outside doing things. So I did want to make the distinction between daily weather and seasons, like when it comes to seasonal affective disorder, which is very real. Many of us here in Michigan experience seasonal affective disorder during the winter because we lack that exposure to sunlight. Very, very important. So daily weather variations really do not create something like seasonal affective disorder. They have less of an impact than seasonal um, uh, variations in weather. So, in other words, if we have, a few cloudy days, they are not going to create that condition of SAD, seasonal affective disorder. Yet, if we have a season of cloudy weather, which we often do during the fall and winter here in Michigan, we can experience seasonal affective disorder. And of course, going into what we can do about that is a whole different story. But there are lights that will provide the spectrum that we need. So I wonder if any of you are a pluviophile. Do you know what a pluviophile is? Anybody? No? I'd never heard of it either. It is someone who loves the rain. A pluviophile. Do you love the rain, Darlene? That's fabulous. Oh, you're muted. You're muted if you want to unmute yourself.
Yes, I use rain as a white noise when I go to bed at night. I love it.
That's fabulous. So now you know what you are. You're a pluviophile.
A pluviophile.
Pluviophile. You can tell people I am
Yes.
a pluviophile. So pluviophiles are generally happier in life in general. They're not as affected by the variations in the weather.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, let's just kind of talk about how can rain sometimes make us happy. We've maybe been focusing for the first few minutes about the negative effects of rain, but how can rain sometimes make us happy? Well, we, as I said, can utilize rain as white noise. We can utilize it as personal reflection, etc., etc. And also, rain allows us to tune into our senses more fully if we let it.
Mm-hmm.
And that allows us to more fully experience life in general, tuning into our senses. When you think about it, when we're looking at the rain outside, or when we're walking outside, to get those UV rays in the rain, think of all the senses that we're using. Sight, of course, hearing, even smell. Rain has a smell, no question. And taste, if you want to taste the rain, and touch. I mean, we're really utilizing all of our senses when we kind of embrace the rain. So people who love the rain, the pluviophiles, they can describe the rain in tremendous detail because they're engaging their senses. And they kind of just really appreciate the storms, the feel of water dripping on their skin, that kind of thing. They don't see it as something negative. They actually just enjoy it. And they also live in the moment, which is what mindfulness, and now once again, I want to make sure that we know I'm generalizing here. So pluviophiles, for the most part, live in the moment, which is what mindfulness is all about. So there's a direct link between happiness and being completely present in the present moment, in whatever a person is doing. Direct link between happiness and that. So just kind of getting lost in the moment of a storm can really just bring us into the moment and actually creating happiness for us. Pluviophiles also tend to be more confident in themselves. Um, they're, they're actually proud of being pluviophiles. Darlene, for example, look at her. She's sitting upright. She just, she's engaged. She's right there, proud of being a pluviophile. So, it's like everyone who is inside, mourning the sunshine. The pluviophiles tend to be just excited, and they feel like everybody's missing out on the wonderful experience of crummy weather. And, crummy being my word. I am not a pluviophile, although I do enjoy um, just kind of hunkering down. I really don't mind that at all. And like you, Darlene, I love going to sleep to the sound of rain. And also, pluviophiles tend to be more resilient during tough times. They tend to have a perspective of, well, rain, helps the flowers grow. It helps the grass turn green. And when things get a little rough in life, pluviophiles tend to remind themselves that this too shall pass. Just like rainy weather passes, these tough times can pass too. And they know that challenges are necessary to really seize the best opportunities that are available to us. You don't get rainbows unless you have rain, right? It's a nice perspective to have. And pluviophiles tend to know how to keep things in perspective. A true rain lover wouldn't dream of freaking out over the weather. It's a few little tiny raindrops. It's not a zombie apocalypse. So they know how to look at the simple realities of life and put them in context. They tend to be more, for lack of a better word, zen about the weather. And pluviophiles can also see beauty in sadness. They can appreciate the cleansing that we receive from a good cry. One of their favorite ways is to spend a rainy day snuggled up somewhere on the couch or in bed, while watching a really good tearjerker movie or a television program. And pluviophiles tend also to have a keen sense of their own mortality. So nothing makes a person feel more alive than knowing how fleeting a moment can be. So, that deep introspection that tends to come with that pluviophile characteristic allows them to really maximize on the opportunity to think about, contemplate life, and looking at the clouds that are moving, looking at the rain maybe pouring down quickly, looking at wet leaves falling. It tends to cause us, especially pluviophiles, to think about our own passing days, that whole cycle of life, the cycle of nature causing us to contemplate the cycle of our own lives. So we can certainly learn from pluviophiles. We don't have to become pluviophiles in order to learn from and to experience some of these some of these characteristics. Maybe just keeping in mind, um, this is fleeting. This is not going to last forever. The sun will shine again. And, we can look at this as an opportunity, look at it as a possibility, and be mindful about just living in the present moment. The rain is here, and as that phrase went, we can't have rainbows without the rain. So knowing that rainbows are ahead of us can change our whole perspective about the rainy days and the cloudy weather of Michigan. So I'm hopeful that that will help get you through this week that looks as if the pluviophile are going to be in their happy place. We'll check back with you next week, Darlene.
I have some red rain boots that I absolutely love, and I purposely go out with my umbrella and splash in the puddles.
There you go.
I love it.
That is fabulous. Yes.
Yes.
And my goodness, how that must affect your mood for the rest
Yes.
of the day.
Mhm.
And, really your whole perspective on things.
Yes.
Hooray, here's the rain. I get to put my red boots on.
Yes.
Yeah. And, when you think about it, all the beautiful umbrellas that are out there to be had,
Mhm.
I think it's all very purposeful to
Mhm.
help us see that there can be fun, there can be beauty. So yes, I want to see what Josetta has to say. Oh, you got flowered boots. Yep. That's awesome. Yep. So yeah, let's remember to check back next week and see how we did during this week. Did we do anything that allowed us to really enjoy the weather? But in the meantime, how about if we do a rain meditation for relaxation? It will allow us to maybe set our moods and create that mindset that will carry us through the day and the week. Sound good?
Mhm.
Okay, before we move into that meditation, does anyone else have anything they want to say about the weather, how it affects them, how it doesn't affect them, how they love the rain or hate the rain? Anybody? No? Okay, then let's do some relaxation on this Monday morning. So once again, oh, thank you, Debbie, for reminding everyone to mute themselves during the meditation. Appreciate that. Once again, finding a comfortable position for you. Go ahead and lie down if that works. Please feel free. And if you are sitting, just making sure that your back is straight, head, neck, shoulders aligned. Yet you don't want to be tense, you want to be relaxed. I love to use that phrase of relaxed yet dignified. And just noticing, has anything become a bit uncomfortable as we've been sitting for these last 40 minutes? Or maybe it's become less uncomfortable, and just noticing it, not judging it, not trying to manipulate, just simply noticing it. Notice how it feels in the body. And as we start to become aware of the breath, just noticing as you're breathing any residual tension in your body and trying your best to release that tension on your on your exhalations, excuse me. So just inhaling energy, relaxation, and exhaling any residual tension that may be in your body, anything that you don't need right now. And maybe even placing one hand on your chest and one hand on your belly, feeling your chest rise and fall with each breath. Noticing, where do you feel the breath most in your body? Is it in your chest? Is it in your belly? And there's no better place. There's no one best way to breathe. It's just simply a matter of noticing how you breathe. Your body knows how to breathe. So just paying attention to what your body already knows. And as we allow the breath to fall back into just its natural rhythm, its natural pace, you can remove your hands from your chest and belly if you wish, and just place them on your lap or at your sides. And remember that this is your time. There's nothing to worry about, nothing that worrying will solve at this moment. This is your time for calmness, relaxation, and peace. It's our time now for relaxing, stepping back away from any worries about the future, any concerns, any ruminations about the past. And now let's imagine in our minds, unless you are in a location where it's actually raining, otherwise, let's imagine the sound of rain. Just hearing the natural pace of rain as it changes in speed, changes in its actual weight, maybe moving from a few droplets here and now, and then a slight drizzle, just soft, and then a sudden downpour, an opening of the clouds. And just imagine the rain falling all over your body, turning you into water. Our bodies are actually made of water. And with the rain, we actually share the same vibrational frequency. Water, along with the sun, is our life force. So, allowing the sound of this really sacred rain to calm and soothe you, thanking the rain for cooling, nourishing, and cleansing you. Feeling a deep sense of gratitude towards the water and its life giving powers. And as we continue through the meditation, if at any point your mind drifts, just gently guiding yourself back to the breath, to the present moment. Your breath is your anchor. And now allowing your mind to follow the path of a raindrop, beginning in the very rain cloud where it starts to form. Imagine the droplet as it begins to fall. Just following the raindrop as it falls effortlessly through the sky. That raindrop purifies the air around it. It's cleansing the atmosphere as it gets ready to nourish the earth, the ground below it. And following the raindrop as it falls into a forest, beginning to seep into the lush forest ground, hydrating the soil, soaking into the vegetation, all of which need the rain to prepare for new life in the spring. Parts of the raindrop enter the roots of a tree, traveling up the trunk into the branches, nourishing the tree. And later, that raindrop evaporates through the leaves, transforming into oxygen and moving through the fresh air. And imagine that oxygen entering through your nose on your next inhale. Just feel the coolness of the air. Imagine the power of the rain cleansing and nourishing your body, just like it does to the earth and the trees. Allowing the air to calm and soothe you. And as you exhale, imagine providing the trees and the plants with the nourishment that they need. Again, inhaling, taking in nature's gift of oxygen, and exhaling, thanking nature by giving back what you can offer. And as you inhale, perhaps saying the following mantra to yourself: I see myself as still water. On the exhale, saying to yourself, I reflect things as they are. Inhaling, I see myself as still water. Exhaling, I reflect things as they are. Really trying to imagine yourself as water. And perhaps on the next breath cycle, on the inhalation, saying, I see myself as water. And on the exhalation, I am calm, cool, and clean. Inhaling, I see myself as water. Exhaling, I am calm, cool, and clean. Remembering that you're a part of nature, that you're perfect just as you are, just as nature is, that you're part of the natural process of the universe, that you deserve all that the universe has to offer, designed just for you. Just like every raindrop, you have a purpose on this earth. Allow the universe to protect you and to nourish you, giving you the strength to fulfill your life's purpose. And just reflecting on that idea for a few moments. Just like every raindrop, you have a purpose on this earth. Allow the universe to protect you and to nourish you, giving you the strength to fulfill your life's purpose. It may just change your perspective about a rainy day. And when you're ready, just coming back into your body, beginning to wiggle fingers and toes, maybe shift your body a little bit and stretch, carrying the calmness and the power of water with you. As you open your eyes and you get ready to continue to go about your day. And just reawakening whenever you're ready. And I'll end today with a quote from Mother Teresa. I alone cannot change the world, but I can cast a stone across the waters to create many ripples. I alone cannot change the world, but I can cast a stone across the waters to create many ripples.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, a wise, wonderful woman. So I thank you so much.
We thank you.
Oh my goodness. My pleasure always.
Thank you, Jan.